intervention can easily replicate. It definitely was a different time. So, that's my monologue. Child of the 1960s. Oh, what a time, what a time. Well, I'll open up the telephone lines, and I'm wondering, beautiful people, is anyone who would like to call and talk about what it was like growing up in your era? Maybe it was the 60s, maybe it was the 50s. I mean, do you remember doing things on your own? Maybe you want to give somebody a shout out. You just want to share some positive vibes or give some gratitude. So our phone lines are open in Magic 102.7 FM at 297-1027 or 188-257-9086. That's 297-1027 or 188-257-9086. You can call now. If not, we are going to go into our interview, because let me tell you, it's going to be a good one. It's definitely going to be a good one. If you know someone who needs to listen in, you need to call them right now, okay? So I'm going to give you a couple of more seconds, 297-1027, or if you're calling from overseas, 1-888-257-9086. So I don't see the phones ringing, so I'm now going to introduce my guest for tonight. You may know him as the president of the Bermuda Industrial Union, but tonight we will speak to the man himself, Mr. Chris Furbett, one who carries a large weight on his shoulders and has proven through the test of time, upheavals, sacrifice, and even misunderstandings that he is a born leader and was called to this position at this time. In my pre-interview, I discovered an individual who was passionate about his calling, someone who displayed a hard exterior but also had a soft interior when needed. Mr. Furbett, thank you for taking out time of your busy schedule to be with us tonight. So, would you please greet the beautiful people of It's Been Said?
Thank you, Ms. Wade. And first of all, thank you for the invitation. And to your listening audience, it is a pleasure to be here this evening.
Okay, familiar voice, I know. A voice that is attached to so many things. But tonight, we're going to talk to Mr. Chris Furbett. And I'm going to tell you, the pre-interview was amazing. Totally was amazing. So, Mr. Furbett.
Yes.
Let's start at the very beginning.
Sure.
You were born in Bermuda, right? Tell us about where all that started. You grew up in Hamilton. Now, you gave me a place I had never heard of.
Parker's Hill.
Parker's Hill.
Yes.
Paint that picture for us.
Well, it's just off just off of Princess Street, right? There's a street if you know where Augustus Funeral Home is.
Yes.
Parker's Hill is actually right across there where Gosling's parking lot is now, towards the Gosling's warehouse is. Parker's Hill was up there on the hill. They actually tore the hill down probably almost 20 years ago now, probably 30 years. But, and I was living there. It's been a minute. It's been a minute. It was probably close to 40 years since the hill's been going.
Wow.
Because I'm now in my 74th year. And when I was living in Parker's Hill, I was just a young person, probably between the age of 8 and 10 years of age.
Wow, yeah. Wow. Now,
that was like 64 years ago.
So, when you were born, did you go to Parker's Hill, or where did you go?
Yeah, no, I was born in Parker's Hill, and I went to school at Northland School. That's where I went to school, yeah.
So, what was the neighborhood like back then? Was it city? Was it?
The neighborhood was real. Of course, people, congregated. We, played a lot of hide and seek, marbles, and back then it was going on through. It was a row of trees going down the middle of the road.
Really?
So if you were going on one side, if you were going out towards Court Street, where you have to stay on the left-hand side, and if you come from Court Street, you have to stay on the.
No.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think I kind of remember that. Wow. So, who were some of the families around you?
Well, I do remember the Guyans in particular, and I remember the Bean family. Levin Bean, and a few of his siblings, Patrick Guyan, and also Grant Guyan. Certainly, there's some of the people down the bottom. There was Durham family. Yeah. And of course, on the corner, they're still there actually on Princess Street, right there. As you come up the street from Augustus, is the Starbucks right there on the right hand side, coming up left hand side going down, but they're right in the corner right there.
Still there.
The house is still there.
Everybody knew everybody, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we did. Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, you said that your family moved quite a bit. I mean, Serpentine Road, Happy Valley, Ord Road, Valley Road. What do you remember about these moves?
Well, I guess each one of them in the transition, because, back then we didn't have a homestead like a lot of families. Some families tend to buy into, but we had a big family. There was my mother, my father, and 6 kids.
Ooh.
4 boys and 2 girls. So you can imagine. And that continued until my second oldest brother or my first sister got married first. Once they moved out, it freed things up a bit, but certainly it was still four or five of us left. Yeah.
Wow. Tell us about your parents. Your mother.
Well, my mother, she worked at Piper's grocery store, which is, I want to say, the church right there, rather, as you come to the end of the road right there by Augustus, right there on the Baha'i, right, faith right there. That was Piper's grocery store. My mom worked there as an assistant there at the store, as a store keeper.
So you got food, huh?
Mr. Piper was, actually a very reasonable gentleman. He allowed people back then. You could charge your groceries as long as you pay for them by the end of the month and all that kind of stuff. Absolutely, yeah. All of that went on. She later left Trimingham, up the Piper's grocery store, and then in her later years, she actually worked for Trimingham until she ended up retiring like about almost 20 years ago now.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
What influence did she have on you?
My mom, people think she had favorites, but I don't think she did. I think she treated all her children the same in respect that, all of us that went to school, particularly in high school, she used to ride up there, bring us our lunch. And children used to say, like, what is going on here? That's my mom. She's bringing my lunch, bro. It's good, And all of us, I thought she treated us equally. Even though you ever say you got the black sheep of the family or whatever have you, but nah, I thought she treated us all reasonably
the same.
The same.
6 children. Wow.
And my dad on the other side, he was a carpenter by trade.
What's your mom's name?
My mother's name was Aita.
Is she still alive?
She's still alive. Actually, she's 96.
Hey, Mom.
Aita Elise Frebert is her name. And my daddy was named Lionel Stanley Bungie. His nickname was Bungie Frebert. And he was a carpenter by trade. And interesting enough, my mom's brother was also a carpenter. And my oldest brother became a carpenter.
So carpentry is...
even though it's carpentry, the whole three of those gentlemen, my dad, my uncle, my mom's brother, and my brother all lost a piece of their fingers. I don't want to say it's the same finger. I want to say if it was the finger next to the index finger, I think all of them lost a piece of that finger.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, exact same finger. I couldn't understand it.
Incredible.
The whole three of them.
Wow. Yeah. What did you learn from your father?
Certainly, understanding that, it's very difficult because certainly, I can't tell any jokes out of school. But certainly my dad, even though he was a good carpenter, he was also a drinking man. Certainly that's not something I took up. I have an occasional drink here or there, but, in his later years, so it was, his mid-30s to early 40s, he done a lot of drinking. And certainly, a lot of times he came in on the influence, but when he was, in a song mind or whatever, he was, I won't say, but if I have to grade him on a scale of 1 to 10, I would probably put him right in the middle somewhere, maybe a 5 or 6 or thereabouts. I'll give him an 8 or a 9, nothing like that, because I don't think he spent enough time like that around us to give us that. Now, on the other hand, my mom's just the complete opposite. She's probably 11.
Wow. Okay.
She's probably 11.
And that's
the
something.
Woman was, she was phenomenal. She was unbelievable. She really was.
Wow, wow.
Yeah, she really is, I should say.
She is, yes. Really is, and you're very blessed to still have your mom.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Would you say that you were a disciplined child?
Well, I think that yes, and the reason why I can say yes to you is because when I became teenager and started to get towards my 20th birthday, I had a lot of people around, friends around me that trying to influence me to do certain things in life. Whether that's to smoke some weed, whether it's to smoke whatever, or drink, I told them I'm not about that.
Wow.
So much so that we had this conversation about, they say they're going to hold me down and do A, B, C, or D to me. And I said, well, that's not going to be a good idea for you. I can tell you that. So while you 4 or 5 make get away today, tomorrow I'll get you one by one, and we're going to have it out.
Okay.
And they knew I was serious. And based on that, they respected me for that.
Yeah, strategic.
And my dad actually showed me that kind of respect because, at age 19 or 20, like when you guys hang out up Woodward, we used to be up by the street, and when he came in riding the bike, like 11 o'clock, 11:30, if I was there, he just looked at me. But if my younger brother was there, he was 2 years younger than me, he made him go home.
Right. Okay.
But
yeah.
We had that kind of, he had that kind of respect for me, and I didn't take anything for granted. I like to think that I carried myself in a way that, my mom, my father taught me right from wrong. I heard you talking a moment ago about children and how they brought up back in the day, and I think that it's so fitting because back then, in the late 1950s or 1960s, right, you experienced all those kind of things.
Yeah,
you have bullies in the school, and the bully is always a bully till he meets another bully.
There you go.
And there's no longer any bully.
No.
So just be careful. Every as the say, every dog's gonna have his day.
Yeah.
Every person who's a bully is gonna have their day at some point in time. They will. Yeah.
Did you have a religious experience in your family? Did you church?
Yes and no. I think I'm just trying to really vividly remember, going to Sunday school or a few times heard it, but other than that,
no, it wasn't part of the thing. Okay, let's talk about school.
Sure.
Where did your education begin?
Actually, my education began at Northern School, and then I went on to, of course, Robert Crawford or Prospect for Boys. Before it was known as Cunningham's before I got there.
Right, okay.
And that's where I got my education. I finished school at 16, just at 16 years of age, and because I was done, I never went to college. Anything like that.
Right. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You said that. Were you serious about school? Was school like your place where you study? I
can tell you that when I was in elementary school, I was not serious about school. But when I went to high school, I was.
Okay.
I loved to do architectural work. I loved to do maths. My grades in those 2 areas were pretty good.
Good.
Geography was so-so and everything else. But I think I became a much better student, willing to learn when I went to high school as opposed to when I was in elementary school. I thought it was all about play, not serious.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Who were some of the teachers that left an impression on you?
Interesting because, when I went to elementary school, I remember Miss Hinton was the headmistress at Northern School. And children, today are very fortunate.
Okay.
My words,
Sure,
very fortunate. Because back then, if you misbehaved in class, you got sent to the principal's office, and you got straps across your hand.
Oh yeah.
And you got them with a leather strap.
Ooh, stinging.
It's very stingy, yeah. And I think those are the kind of things helped you mold you to be, a better person. That you shouldn't take things for granted. And certainly Miss Simpson, along with some of the other teachers at Northlands, as well as when I went to high school, particularly Mr. Dilla Chavateur was the science teacher.
Okay, yeah.
And that man was strict. He wanted you to do your work. He didn't like people playing in his class. Mr. Peter Doyle was a tall Englishman. I think he taught mathematics. And certainly, people just, you have to understand that, they're there to do a job. And whilst they understand that, people have choices to make.
Sure.
But if you want to come and disrupt their class back in the day, that was not the place for it.
No, that's not an
because in high school, you got sent to Mr. Rumley's office, and you got sent to his office, you also get canned.
Oh my gracious! Yeah.
So this whole thing about taking, corrections out of schools in the, in the 70s or 80s or whenever they started doing it, I thought it was a bad idea, in my opinion. I'm just saying, I thought it was a bad idea.
Right.
Nobody's brutalized their children when they go to school. A little crack across your hand is not hurting you. It's not hurting you one or the other.
No.
Now, nobody should be hitting you upside your head and do that kind of stuff, right?
No.
So,
any place or form. No.
If you decide that you're going to misbehave in school, you ought to expect there's accountability for that.
Absolutely.
And if there's no accountability for that, then when you get out in society, how you can behave?
That's right. Yep.
You're gonna misbehave. That's why I've got all this misbehave. A lot of this misbehave in the society today.
Yep.
That's why.
Yep.
That's one of the reasons why. Let me rephrase that. That's one of the reasons why.
Sure.
I wouldn't say it's the only reason why, but it's one of the reasons why.
Yeah. And us growing up in that type of system, we understand.
Yeah.
We remember it. We talk about it, but
You're talking about you can go home and tell your mom that your neighbor hit you upside the head. What did he hit you for? You probably can get knocked upside the head. First of all, if they hit you, they must hit you because you're doing something wrong.
Exactly.
Nobody back in the day is going to slap you upside if you're doing something right.
No, not at all. Not at all.
So if they tap you upside your head, it's because you're misbehaving and they say you need to behave. And you throw your backhands at them and then when you find yourself, bam, upside. What's that for? Well, you're being rude. Okay. So now you're going to tell your mother or your father that you're misbehaving and somebody, you get more licks.
Yeah.
You'll get more licks, I'll tell you that. Back then, you'll get more licks. Not less more.
Oh my goodness, yes. Yeah, everybody can talk about licks. It's a story.
Well, it's all about, when we talk about the village, takes a village to raise a child, these are the kind of things that you can go back, 40, 50 or 60 years ago and you look at that and see, you know what? We were better off for doing what we did back then.
Yeah.
And that's my opinion. I'm not saying, young people today they can draw their own conclusions or whatever. All I'm saying to you, and they're not all young children are not bad.
No.
That small percentage that are doing the wrong things they shouldn't be doing. I believe that we should be talking about the ones that are doing good things, because whilst we want to talk about the ones that are doing bad, let's talk about the ones that are doing good things
Excellent.
in the country.
Yes.
Because there are more of them that are not doing the right things in Bermuda.
You know what that saying is, the squeaky wheel gets the oil.
Gets oil? Yeah, for real. Yeah, right, cool.
Now, I have to ask you this.
Sure.
You have a nickname, Butch.
Yeah.
How did you get that
My
name?
father gave me that name. My father gave me the name Butch, and that's what he picked. He just nicknamed me Butch.
Okay.
And a lot of people, first of all, people that don't know me call me that nickname, and I, first of all, you don't know me that well.
Okay.
No, we came up together, then you got permission to call me that nickname. But if you don't know me that well, you can't.
No.
To me, that's being disrespectful.
Yeah, don't throw it around.
You can't just throw it around.
Yeah, especially if your father gave it to you. There's some respect to that.
My father gave me that.
Yeah.
Respectfully, I from what I remember, I'm the only one of the 6 children that my father named.
Okay.
He named me Chris Noel. And the reason why he named me Chris Noel, because I was born on Christmas Day.
No way! I didn't even know that. Wait a minute.
Born on Christmas
so
Day.
Your name
1 o'clock Christmas morning I was born. 1 o'clock in the morning.
So what's your full name?
Chris Noel Fabric. That's my name.
Kristen?
Chris.
CHRIS?
Noel Fabric.
Chris Noel.
Chris Noel.
Santa Claus.
Chris Noel.
Christmas. Father Christmas. Bet you all didn't know that. Interesting.
Yeah.
So you were very athletic. What sports did you play?
I played soccer. I played soccer for a lot of years. From when I was about 9 or 10, right up till I was about 55, 56. I played soccer.
Amazing.
And I played for PXC. And when I reached the age of 33 or 34, some of our older players at PXC started a team called Spinning Wheel Raiders.
Okay.
We came under Spinning Wheel Raiders, sponsored by Larry Burgess for several years. And after about 10 or 12 years, we became PXC Raiders.
Okay. Yeah. Wow.
But really? I can tell you, the Spinning Wheel Raiders, you used to give a lot of teams real headaches. Because you know what's interesting about it is that because we didn't train, we just came out every Saturday to play. And there's the teams like Robin Hood and Lobster Pot and these guys, they used to train 2 days a week.
Okay.
And they used to come out said this, and then we used to just beat them. And they couldn't understand what. First of all, we need a game. You might have been a little more fitter than us.
Right.
But we need a game. But there were still guys on the Raiders team that took care of themselves, like myself and like 3 or 4 other guys, and we were pretty fit.
Yeah.
And the interesting part about it, because like when I got in my early 50s, I'm playing a commercial league game. And I'm chasing this guy who's 25 or 20 who should be playing in the Premier Division. And I said to him, why are you doing the commercial league? Playing soccer. Well, I says, you know what? This is not even right. Commercial league was initially designed for people who retired from competitive soccer.
Sure.
And now at over 35 and 40, whatever it was, then you now come and relax. And chase somebody 20 years of age because they decided that they want to come out and try to school a lot of girls. A lot of them got their feelings hurt. Because they couldn't school them as many girls as they thought they was going to tell you that.
Because you knew the game.
Anyway.
You knew the game. Hey.
I'll tell you what. In 1985.
Right.
85, 86. I can't remember. I think it was 80 might have been 86. PAC was on the CONCACAF Champions of Champions.
Okay.
They got drawn against the Spinningville Raiders in the FA Cup.
Okay.
Spinningville Raiders or PAC got drawn against each other in the FA Cup. Early rounds, right? Well, the first half score, Spinningville was leading PAC 1-0.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
that was not good.
No.
That was not good. Consequently, the coach, who's now deceased, Leroy Nips Lewis, he refused to get in the locker room at halftime and talk to his team. The only reason why he got in that locker room at halftime, my second oldest brother picked him up and carried him over in the dressing room to go talk to his team. A lot of people don't know that. You got to go, first of all, you got to go talk to your team. They had not win the game. I think they won 2-1 or 3-1, but they in the end, they won the game. There was a lot of fitness, and we knew that it was only a matter of time before, they would end up scoring and they'd probably end up in the game, but we made it hard for them. I want to say they didn't find the school girl to probably in the 60-something minute, maybe it was the 70 minute before they made it 1-1.
So you held them.
But we had some opportunities, and Ralph Gumbo Bean, who former North Village, Marshall Mop-Assett, former PHC. Gumbo could have given him up another chance, and I think if we had run up 2-0, I don't think they'd have came back from that. But we missed that opportunity, and in the end, they ended up winning the game 2-1. But it was a great match.
What
people that came out to see that game really enjoyed the match.
Yeah.
And then we fight the Somerset Trojans 3 years later.
Oh my! You take the big guns on.
Somerset Trojans, we were leading them 1-0. We scored first, and we had a free kick. I won a free kick over the corner. I scored the goal. And they were not happy. They had not beaten us 4-1, but we had them shaking the no boots too, as commercial league players.
Oh my goodness, yes. I love that.
So I enjoy playing soccer.
Absolutely.
I played a lot of years
at
PHC.
That's some serious soccer, man.
Unless you want to go to your lines, but
no.
Okay, cool. All right.
Listen, it's your story.
Okay, cool.
It's your story.
No problem. It's all good. No, I'm good.
So you even did cross country?
Cross country. I done cross country in school, and I just didn't like. First of all,
tell me. That's it. What I want to tell you.
I'm not.
What frustrated you most about competition?
What frustrated me most about competition is, first of all, let's all begin as to what we're supposed to begin. If we're supposed to begin at the start line, then let's start at the start line.
All right.
Anybody who begins somewhere else, just gonna. If I know, I'm not keeping that to myself.
Okay. Yes.
Why should I have to run 3 miles and you're running 1.5 miles?
Absolutely.
Or why am I running 3 miles and you're running 2?
Yes.
And thinking that if I saw you, excuse me, but he didn't run the race. He did. He didn't start at the beginning. So how he joined the race? Let's just be fair about what we're doing here.
Yes.
And too many times what we do is that we fail. It's everything that's going on in the country right now. People see things, but they're quiet. If we will be more open and just expose things, things will get better.
Right.
I'm not saying 100%, but they at least get better.
Right.
But we seem to think, well, I'm telling them blind eye to that. I didn't see that.
So you've had this trait of just speaking out from a young age.
Absolutely.
So it's not something that you sort of grew into. From a young age, this was part of your sense of values. I don't like cheating. And if you cheat, I'm going to point it out to somebody or somebody you think, wow. Yeah, see? Interesting. People probably didn't know that. They thought, oh, this was just Chris Furbitt, recently.
No.
Okay. No. Now, I want to hear the story about when you were knocked down as a child. Because that has a very significant...
No, it's kind of like, I was actually, even though I said I was knocked down, I was living at Parker's Hill, and I was actually playing in the gutters. We probably shouldn't have been playing, right? But, I want to say Mr. Jill, I think it's E.R. Jill, he used to live, in the area of Princess, of Parker's Hill.
Right.
And he had a business there, and I was playing in the gutter, and he didn't see me, and I got knocked out. Fortunately, I wasn't hurt that bad. I went to the hospital, but I was okay.
Yeah.
I was okay. I'm not sure whether he just grazed me or I saw the car coming kind of early, what I was, but I never played the guitar again.
And then what happened to you? It changed your look.
It changed my look on playing in the street.
Yes, and?
Taking things for granted. Oh, no. First of all, no, that's not how my tooth got chipped.
Oh.
My tooth got chipped because I was having a fight with this other guy, yeah. And he knocked my head against the wall and chipped my tooth.
Ooh.
So I had to go to the dentist still. Like I said, I didn't want to say I was 9 or 10 years old, and dentist still put this gold tooth in my mouth 62 years ago.
Wow.
62 years ago.
Amazing. So that's been your stamp.
60-something years, 63
89.
years, 64 years, this gold tooth has been in my mouth.
So you were like, people are putting gold in their mouth now, but you had it all together in 89.
I met this girl ever since. A lot of dentists don't believe it's been there all that time. I say, yeah, it's been
Dentist
there. I've been thinking about trying to take it out and put. I says, well, unless you don't give me something, why? You're not moving this.
No. This is your signature.
It's been on once in 60-something years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to say I was playing with one of the grandkids. They put me and knocked it loose, and it got whatever.
Shaky,
they took it out and put it back in, and it's been back there ever since.
Yeah.
That was like 10 years ago.
Amazing.
But it's only been on once in 60+ years.
Wow. Mm-hmm. So you left school. Tell me about your first job.
Yeah, I actually, even though it was my first job, it was a job while I was in school.
Okay.
I used to work at Bermuda gas station, pumping gas. I worked there before I got into transportation. So once I turned 16, and I bought my bike, then after school I used to go to work up at Riddles Bay.
Okay.
As a gas attendant. So to me and Mr. Durham, Mickey Durham, actually got me the job up there when I was, before, when I was in school. I used to go up there after school to pump gas. And he used to bring me home at night because he lived in Order also. Number 5 Tri-Road. He lived just inside Tri-Road number 5, and I lived further over the back of Tri-Road number 5. So he used to bring me home at even time. So my first job was pumping gas at Riddles Bay. My second job was up at Dockyard Cement Plant, the silo in Dockyard.
Right, yeah.
My uncle got me that job. I was up there for about maybe 6 to 9 months. When just before I turned I came on the dock in 1971, so I was 19 when I got on the dock in 1971. So I was at the cement plant for about 6 to 9 months, working with my uncle, bagging up bags of cement. I was on the machine bagging up bags of cement.
That's a pretty heavy job.
No. First of all, I only put them on the machine.
Oh, okay.
Once it was full, I pulled off the machine and let it go down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then I got an opportunity to apply for a job on the docks. My uncle was already a foreman on the docks, and his daddy, Noddy Robinson, he also worked in the docks, but he passed before I got down the dock. So I was actually a third generation longshoreman when I got to work on the dock in April of 1971. When I got on the dock, I was a third generation longshoreman, 1971.
So it runs in your DNA, it runs in your heritage, your legacy, and
I guess you can say that. Yeah,
wow.
and I was assigned. They had gang started then. I was assigned to Gang 5, which was a pretty strong gang out of the gang standard. I want to say, I think they had 7. I think it was 7 gangs in total. They had 7 gangs, but they also had 5 sets of sorterers. So the sorters would rotate which gang they work with from time to time. But when Gang 5 was out, I had to make time for work. But you could also go on there and get a pick. If your gang weren't working, you could go on and get a job with another gang.
Okay.
Because sometimes they were short.
Right.
And this was before we got the guaranteed 40-hour work week.
Right. So what's
the guaranteed work week 40-hour came in 1972, about a year later. So.
What were your hours?
Hours of work from 8 o'clock in the morning to 10 o'clock at night.
Mercy.
Yeah, we got an hour for lunch, an hour for dinner. We used to work from 8 to 12, 1 to 5, and then 6 to 10.
Ooh. Yeah. Wow. That's some serious hours. Yeah. Monday to Friday.
No. Could be a Saturday, could be a Sunday. But the difference is Saturdays we didn't work till 4 o'clock.
Okay.
Saturdays is only 8 to 4.
Right.
Unless the boat's working till finish, you can work it past 4 o'clock. But if it's not, the boat finishes at 4 o'clock on the set. You have to come back Sunday and finish it off.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
So you got involved in union at a young age.
Yeah, I did.
What drew you to that?
I guess once I got on the dock and seeing the workers down there have different challenges from time to time, I just decided that I want to get involved. And it was interesting because I had a little run-in with the personnel officer because I had a problem with some work I was doing in the container. And he told me, if you don't go work in the container, we're going to send you in. We're going to fire you. I said, I can't have that. But I was standing on principle because I didn't like it was a bit unsafe, some of the stuff they was doing there, right?
Sure.
And it was after that I really decided that I want to get involved. And I got to be the assistant secretary of the division in 1973. 2 years after I got in the dock.
2 years?
Or 2 years after I got in the dock. I want to say 1970 or 1974, I became the assistant secretary of the division.
Wow. So that's a young age to get. So what did, at that time, leadership mean to you?
Well, interesting because, when I became the assistant secretary of the division, I got an invitation to start going to seminars. So I was going to seminars at the union, and they have an evaluation sheet at the end that actually, what would you like to be in the organization? And I always put my hand up or wrote that I would like to become president of the BIU one day.
Hold up, say that again. You went too fast over
I always wrote on my evaluation sheet, or when they asked, what would you like to be? I said, I'd like to be president of the BIU one day. And I said that for 10 years. I should just continue to say that.
Wow.
And so when I became president of the division, and shortly after the president then, Admiral Berkeley, after the general strike of 1981, shortly after that, he retired. He left and decided to go start his own trucking business. And in early 1982, I became the president of the Port Works division of the BIU.
Wow.
And I remained in that position for 13 years until 1995, when I was hired as a full-time organizer for the BIU. But in those 12, 13 years that I was president of the Dock Workers division, we had some challenges.
You talked about the general strike. What was
the general strike of 1981? Interesting because there were divisions within the BIU that were essential services. And the essential services mean, in order for you to have any kind of industrial action, you're supposed to serve 21-day notice of industrial action.
Right, okay.
So, because the 1981 general strike was around hospital workers and government workers, the hospital workers and government workers already served the 21-day notice of strike action.
Okay.
And because the 21 days had run out, the Minister of Labor failed to send the matter to arbitration, so that's why they was able to act on the 21-day notice. Because the 21 days expired. Now, if he would act on the 19th day or 20th day, I tell people this, we wouldn't have had the general strike of 1981.
Right.
If John Swan would have sent the matter to arbitration, we would have had no general strike of 1981. I want people to understand that. They need to understand that, because that's what happened. The hospital workers and the government workers gave 21-day notice of industrial action. What happens in that 21-day period? In America, they sometimes call it the cooling off period, but the minister has 21 days to act. Right. He can act on the first day, he can act on the very last day. As long as he acts, it's good. Right. If you don't act, you're allowed to implement your 21-day in action, and that's exactly what happened. So what happened? They was able to implement the 21-day action by going on strike, and all they did after that was give the other groups within the BIU an invitation to join their brothers and their sisters, which is what happened. You had an escalation over a period of 10 days or so, where every division from the BIU decided to support the government workers and hospital workers based on what they were going through. And once that momentum started,
right,
you couldn't stop it. To quote Sir David Gibbons, who was the Premier of the country, he went on the news either the 3rd or 4th of May 1981 and said, you're either going to follow out of our sentence or you're going to follow me as the Premier of the country. Well, he should have never said that. The people of Bermuda followed out of our sentence. The country followed out of our sentence.
Right.
Because they felt what the union was fighting for was right, and that's what people supported.
How did you speak to your workers during this time?
Well, I wouldn't say it was easy, but certainly it was kind of like a no-brainer that if the union is calling us, 85% of everything that constitutes Bermuda comes in on the Hamilton docks. And everybody knew that. Yes. Everybody knew that. Yes. Everybody. Even Sir David Gibbons knew that.
Right.
And once we decided to withdraw our labor, it was almost the beginning and end of the strike, and almost the beginning and end of him.
Was there any fear in this? Was there any anxiety, worry?
There was. I would say there was fear on Brother Otter's behalf because certainly he was the leader, and I knew that he got some threats. You know, and you know, there's things we're dealt with because when you're a leader, you expect these kind of things. You expect people's gonna, you know, they're gonna, if they think that you're doing things that they don't support.
Sure.
You're gonna, you know, they're gonna step where they think they can step and be whatever.
Sure.
Well, I would advise you just be very careful when you do those sort of things.
Indeed.
Because peaceful demonstration, because that's what it was. We gave notice, and people were allowed to act based on the notice they gave.
Yeah. Wow, amazing. I mean, it seems like a long time ago, but indeed, it set the precedent for so many things, even up till today. Okay, so you had some decisions to make.
Yes.
In 1995, it stands out. You were offered a position, a role on the dock. Was it a superintendent role?
Well, there were two offers, right?
Okay.
And I have to put them like that because, and I want to say either in could have been 1990, between 1991 and 1992, I think it was. I actually became a foreman on the docks.
Okay.
I was a foreman because I was a relief foreman actually. And two of management superintendents were retired.
Okay.
William Francis and Caledonia Simons were retired because the policy at Stephen Oak Services is that at 65 you have to leave.
Sure.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts.
Okay.
Don't matter whether you're a garage helper or you're the CEO. So those two gentlemen had to retire. So the management team decided that they had three foremen: James Washington, Eugene Simpson, and Maurice Bremer. Those were the three foremen. C.B. Robinson and myself were the relief foremen. So they asked, they said that they're not going to give the jobs to any of these three foremen. They're actually going to go outside to bring some people in. And that's what they told us. So I was the president of the division. I told them, the operations manager, if you bring somebody to that gate to work in this position, we will meet them at the gate. We're gonna drop tools.
Okay.
So they said, why? I said, well, first of all, you have three foremen here. There's what we call a probationary period.
Okay.
So if you offer the job to one of those three or two of them three and they don't work out, then you can offer to somebody else.
Yeah, exactly.
So they said, well, why don't you take the position? I said, hold on a second, wait a minute. I'm a relief foreman.
Okay.
How's a relief foreman going to take our superintendent position over these three?
Exactly.
That's disrespectful. I will never do that to those three members right there. It's not going to happen.
No.
So they decided to take Mr. Eugene Simpson, make him the senior superintendent, and they made Mr. Bremer the second. Interesting. Let's back up a little bit. They have a description for each one of them three foremen.
Okay. Job description.
Well, no.
Wasn't it?
Just a description of their work ethic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Mr. Washington, because he liked to make sure the girl was well sorted out and everything. And Mr. Simpson was this, and Mr. Bremer was too playful, so that's why they didn't want to promote any of them. I said, guys,
kind of description.
You can't. We're not doing this. We're not doing it.
No.
So they agreed with us, and Mr. Simpson ended up being the superintendent. Mr. Bremer ended up being, and I think they done a pretty stellar job. So there was no need to bring somebody in.
No.
So no need to bring somebody in.
Yeah.
So and then what happened? I guess in the later years meaning that Stephen Oak Service was thinking about offering me a position as the operations manager.
Okay.
As the CEO. But it was like 2004, 2005, because they're looking for a CEO. And they asked me to consider it. By that time, I was working at the BIU.
Right, yeah.
And I was thinking that I can't accept that position. So, of course, my family saying, well, why not? I says, you have to understand the rationale behind why they offer me this position.
Always know the background story.
They believe that if I take the position, I can use what I knew against the people down there.
Oh, no.
I am never going to be able to go in that position and thinking, well, okay, he's our leader for a while. Now he's running on the end. I'll have to come back down to be the CEO And he wants us to, no. They want to turn me against those guys, and they want to tell me, you either do it or you're going to be fired. I see myself getting fired, so I say, you know what? I'm not taking that job.
Wise.
And the other thing was that, interesting, because I haven't said this, I don't know if I've ever said this on radio, right? But in 2005, Brother Derek says, you can't take that position. I said, what are you talking about? He says, well, I'm getting ready to leave.
Right.
And you're the first vice president. So, I said, okay.
Yeah.
Once I heard that even cemented my reason for not taking that position, because I always wanted to be president of the BIU, and this was an opportunity.
Oh my goodness, yes.
And interesting, because I think that when Brother Derek was on vacation as the general president, and I was the first vice president, I think I handled the organization, satisfactory for the membership's point of view and from the general council's point of view. So, they was going to make a decision once Derek left in 2006, who was going to be the leader. I think they all knew who they wanted to be the leader, and we can discuss that in a minute. We can discuss that in a minute.
Indeed. You said that you see the best in old man. What do you mean by that?
Well, when I see the best in old man, it's about, as I explained to Brother Drip Minus, who was the vice president of the division, right? Otto L. Simmons, who was the president of BIU for 22 years. When Artie stepped on in 1996, he told us that he was leaving. He told us in 1988, guys, I didn't want to leave. I need to, da-da-da. So he set it for 4 conferences, right? Because we had a conference every 2 years.
Yeah, right.
And in 1996, when he finally left, people say, oh man, Artie's gone. I says, well, he tell you. So I signed it, rather, because Artie says, I will not pick my successor. Got it. Derek was his first vice president of BIU. I was second vice president of BIU. He said, I'm not telling you to choose Derek. I'm not telling you to choose Chris. You choose who you want to choose. So when I left the Docks in 1995, the vice president of the Docks thought that I should support him being president. Okay. And I said to him, I'm not going to do that. If you've earned the respect of the membership, absolutely, you don't need me to tell them who to vote for. Right. I says, if you carried yourself in a way where the membership wants you, then you're going to be in. But he lost. He became, I want to say, Sinclair Smith became president after I left, and I want to say Drip became his vice president. But Drip was my right-hand man for 12 years while I was down there. And I used to try to tell Drip, first of all, there are things that you're doing that it's almost like him and the the secretary of the division. Well, Vincent Marena's bad as his secretary, because the secretary would do some dumb things. And I used to say, brother, you can't do that, man. First of all, you're a leader. You have to lead by example. You can't do things like you're all sick, but you're out in your boat. I'm like, no, you just can't do that kind of stuff, right? I says, you know how long it takes you to climb up a ladder? Okay. When you get up the top, let go. See how long it takes you to fall back down. It's true, That's a very, very good point. So what I'm trying to tell him, if you want to have the respect of the man, people used to tell members say, the management's afraid of Brother Chris. They are not afraid of me. They're afraid of the way how I can interpret the CBA and put them in their place. Because all the articles and all the schedules support us. Yes. They are our rights in the workplace. People say, well, we got management's rights, but we got union rights. And those rights are equal. I'm telling you they're equal. Yeah. If anybody tells you different, well, that's our opinion. Why do we have a CBA if all the rights belong to them and none belong to us? Explain what CBA is. Collective bargaining agreement. Okay. So if we got a collective bargaining agreement, the collective bargaining agreement is for who? For management? No, it's for the members that work for management. And it's for management to manage that agreement. Indeed. So whatever your manager's right says, look at what the purpose says. Look at what recognition says. And whatever that says, no, you can have a conversation. Yeah. Because when it says that the BIU or the union is a sole bargaining agent, you know what that means? You can't bring somebody else in without even having a conversation with us. Whatever you do in an unorganized area, you can do that over there. But in an organized area, you can't behave like that. No, indeed. Once we win a ballot for recognition, that respect is there. So having this conversation about, making sure that you have to be able to stand on principle. You can't just say, well, okay, my best friend I'm going to treat like this, and everybody's going to treat like that. That preferential treatment gets you in trouble. Yeah. It gets you in trouble. Just try to treat everybody the same. It may not be easy, but if you start doing it, you'll find out you'll be able to do it a lot easier going forward. Once you get the first challenge, you pass that. That's why people say, well, I don't know how he does it, but first of all, I done it. I was a foreman, and I was president of my division.
Okay.
People don't understand how I walked that line. First of all, I was fair.
Important. Very important.
I was fair. And people say, no, the brother, it's not my job to fire you. It's my job to tell you, first of all, you got to make your time and you got to do your work. Now, I'll go to the superintendent and say, look, this brother's not doing this way. You need to,
So literally they fired themselves. They fired themselves. Now, you ran for leadership in 96 after...
I did. I ran for leadership in 1996, and Brother Derek won, and he won 19 to 16. I kind of...
Close.
Yeah, but when you look at the nominations that he got, because, hotel division has 10 votes, hospital had probably 5 votes, government had about 4 or 5 votes, so he had a couple of key divisions that supported him. And interesting, because I said this to a few members, right? I said, you do realize Brother Derek won the presidency, but you do realize that more divisions nominated me than nominated him. You do realize that, right?
Okay.
What are you talking about? I said, go look at the conference book. We had 18 divisions. He got 7 nominations. I got 11.
Ah, but they had smaller representation.
Right. They only got 1 delegate or 2 delegates.
Yeah.
So when you do the math.
Yes. Yeah.
So in
I remember you're good at math.
In 1998, because it was a 2-year conference, I had every right to challenge him in 1998, but I didn't.
Okay.
Why? Because I got 7 divisional nominations in 1996. 7 divisions says, or 11 divisions says I wanted him to be our leader. 7 divisions were with her. So if you do the maths about division wise, the support was there.
You felt good about that in a sense. That even though you didn't get it, you felt good about the support that you had in it.
I did.
Right.
I felt good about it.
Eventually, you were elected leader.
So in 2006, when Brother Derek stepped on, and we had to have meetings with the divisions to of course, win their nomination. Every division I had a chance to talk with, I said to them, got some big shoes to fill there, looking at Dr. Gordon, looking at Brother Artie, looking at Brother Derek. And as I told them, I can only fill those shoes with your support. Without your support, no one person's going to be able to do this.
Indeed.
And the membership appreciated my candor. They appreciated the leadership I gave them, and I was first vice president for the 10 years I was there. So much so that when the delegates conference was held, I want to say out of the 18 or 19 divisions we had, I got 16 divisions that nominated me, and the other 2 people, because there was three of us that ran, the other 2 people got three divisions between them. The vote came out 33.
Overwhelming.
1. That's the way the vote came out.
Overwhelming.
33-1. I still remember like yesterday.
I can imagine. Because this is it. This is what you had. This is what you dreamed for.
And it's interesting because at that delegates conference, my son was a delegate.
Really?
My second oldest son, Chris Febber Jr., was a delegate that year. The year I became president of BIU in 2006. So you can imagine how I felt. My dream of becoming president had come true in 2006, and my son was sitting there as a delegate.
Yeah, that is truly, truly a legacy. You're looking at yourself, you're looking at your offspring, you're thinking, you know what? The time was right. The time was right. So I'm going to go to this next part. Tell us about Stop the Chris campaign. Why would anybody want to stop the Chris? Because here you are.
But remember, and
you've given me this these accolades.
And I'm glad you gave me. I'm glad I gave you that because in 2006, I heard that there was a campaign out to stop the Chris campaign, and because there were people,
even name it
because there were people that did want to see me become the leader. And it's okay. I'm good with that in principle. It's just the way they ran about it was so wrong.
Oh my!
Because first of all, I'm telling you this. I don't think the membership ever knew about that. Because I never made it publicly to anyone.
Right.
But that's what went on back in 2006. Because people were called into meetings. Because one person came to me and says, "I was called in this meeting. I walk right back out of the meeting." So you think people were just going to come back and tell me?
Of course.
But what they forgot about. What they didn't remember is that the membership knew who they wanted. So even though they were doing that campaign, they needed to be talking to. They weren't talking to the right people.
No,
it's the membership who was having that divisional meeting saying, "This is who we want to be our leader."
Yeah.
When we got first of all, what were you going to try to turn all the delegates against me? Is that what you thought you was going to try to do?
A landslide.
But my leadership qualities spoke for themselves. My leadership at the docks.
Yes.
For the 13 or 14 years that I was leader down there, and for the 10 years I was first vice president of the BIU.
Indeed.
It spoke for itself.
What misconceptions do people have about union leaders? I mean, they said you could be a dictator, or what do people get wrong about that?
No, but remember now, when you look at the union, it's kind of like an upside down triangle.
Okay.
So if you take a triangle, you turn it up, put the long part at the top, the membership is up there, and the leader's down at the bottom of that triangle. So we have to go to, first of all, the executive board, then we got to go to the general council, and then we should be going to the membership.
Interesting.
You can't just. You think Adi had the general strike in 1981 without the support of the general council and the membership? That didn't happen. I just gave you the example.
Yeah, indeed.
The hospital workers, government workers gave 21-day strike notice.
Right.
So once they was able to implement that, it gave Adi the support he needed to say, well, we got this to build on now. We got this group that's got served the 21-day notice, and now is able to implement that 21-day notice.
Right.
And we're now able to build on that support now. So you can't say it was Ottawa Simmons that called the general strike in 1981. Adi got the strike organized through the members.
Indeed.
And the rest of the public, the general public, supported Adi and the BIU. But don't look at it in a vacuum, because even though Adi was the leader, if the members would decide they weren't going to come, then where Adi would have been. So you have to put it in context. Adi was a great leader, but he also had the support of the members to go ahead and implement that general strike of 1981.
Right. So the leader has to be able to pull the
Absolutely
people
correct.
together.
100% correct.
Indeed.
And he did.
Indeed.
And so much so, remember now, in 1992, which is some 11 years later, we had the Bermuda forwarders strike.
Okay.
And we had the sequestration of our assets there, right? Because the government went to court to get an injunction. Ashford, I can't remember Ashford's first name now, right? Might have been James. He gave an injunction that if the union, for every day the union's in defiance of this order, they'll be fined $100,000 a day.
Oh my gosh.
So anyway, they boarded around her. We had a meeting in the boardroom, and we was going inside to the membership, and Adi said, "We're standing firm. We're not moving." First of all, how dare you tell us that you're going to fine us $100,000 a day? We found out several years later, the most they could have fined us was $100 a day.
No.
But they added all them zeros on it to frighten the living daylights out of us, and thought that we was going to run for cover.
Absolutely.
That was not going to work. That was not going to work.
Can you imagine?
So it just goes to show you, and Ottawa's leadership back then for the Bermuda forward situation, and then of course we had the situation in 1992, which same Bermuda forward dispute. We had the trailer truck down Front Street. We had Brother Carlton Askew, who laid down in front of that tractor trailer.
Ooh.
He laid down in front of the tractor trailer underneath the wheels.
Ooh.
He was laying right there. The truck was started. There was a gentleman behind the wheel of the truck, the steering wheel, gas in the truck up.
My goodness.
Like he was going to move it forward. All he had to do was slip that thing in gear, he'd roll right over that brother's back. But Brother Carlton Askew, that's what it took.
Wow.
It took that kind of courage.
Indeed.
That kind of courage. And that people know, we are serious. We're not playing.
Yeah. And that was one person, but he knew.
That was one person. But all the other people were on the truck, and he was, trying to tell the guy, just get out of the truck.
Yes.
Just get up. Of course, he was one of those people like, you ain't gonna tell me what to do now. We're not. Well, if you wouldn't have got out of that truck, they probably would have took him out of the truck.
I'm sure. Yeah. Wow.
Yep.
Indeed. So you're now president of the BIU, the Bermuda Industrial. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I want to be able to touch on some things like some defining moments of your leadership. Now I'm going to call out 3. Okay.
Cool. Go ahead.
Furlough days, pathway to status, and social and economic empowerment.
What was the first one?
You can touch on them very shortly on either. Furlough days.
Furlough days. Okay, so 2015. I am the first vice president of the Bermuda Trade Union Congress. Alan Wilkinson is the president. But I got a letter from Bob Richards telling me, as the first vice president of the Bermuda Trade Union Congress, that the ABA government needs furlough days to continue past March 31st, 2015.
Right.
And if we can't get it, we're actually going to send your members in, or we're going to start taking money from your members. Not my members, but all government workers, right? So we got that letter on the Friday afternoon. So on Monday morning, we have to have a meeting with the entire members in government.
Okay.
BPSU, BIU, BUT, fire, everybody. Because we want to give them what the letter says.
Right, right.
Once the letter was read, people were angry. We just gave you furlough days. I want to say it was 15 or 18 months of furlough days. Because furlough days, I think, started somewhere like around 2013.
Right, okay. I remember that.
Or 2000 and, yeah, it would have been 13. And then they went all the way on to 2015. So we weren't quite, it wasn't 2 years, it was like about a year and a half, 18 months.
Right.
So, workers members had agreed that they had sacrificed enough. They gave them 18 furlough days, because I think it was 18 months. And based on these savings, because workers were giving up about 5% of their pay. 5% of the pay every month, that's what it was. That one day worked out to be 5%. And they says, we're not doing it anymore. So, we protested, went down to the cabinet grounds after we presented, everything we presented to all the members on that Monday morning. And they said, well, march. So 3,000, 4,000 plus, 5,000 people marched down to the cabinet grounds. And we demanded to see the premier. We got down there, and, we had some conversations about the furlough days, and they were standing firm, and we were moving. So it took us 4 days. We got an agreement on the Thursday that they would drop the furlough day issue. And of course, in between I want to say around Wednesday, they had been to court to get an injunction on a few of us, right? There's coming after Minister Scorny Minister Haver, but back then he was president of the BPSU. Reverend Tweed, Nicholas Tweed, and myself. That's what we heard. I said, well, that'll bring whatever injunction they want, but we're not getting it. So interesting, because we had one of our sister unions, one of the teachers union had some issues, because people are not being paid, and they don't fall out, they're gonna lose 4 days pay because we've been protesting.
Sure.
So they asked one of their brothers to come and call me. So I even wanted to talk to him, and they says, we got some challenges. So what's the challenge? Well, people are going to lose 4 days pay. So my mind's always working. I said, well, look, what about if we can negotiate and get you 2 days pay? Right. And you lose 2 days pay. You could do that. That'd be great. So that's what we were able to achieve.
Amazing.
We were able to get people 2 days pay and lose 2 days pay.
Okay.
So everybody was happy with that.
Yeah. So let's talk about this. You've given me this very interesting and very, powerful paper on social and economic empowerment.
Yes.
Talk a little bit about that. The People's Campaign for Equality, Jobs, and Justice.
So
and it's 2017.
If you think about the People's Campaign, it was started by Reverend Nicholas Tweed, Brother Jason Habe, the president of the BPSU, and myself as president of the PRU.
Right.
And it was started at a time when the OBA became the government in 2012, and they had an agenda, and they had a very aggressive agenda to do certain things.
Okay.
And the People's Campaign, which was we were given this nickname by the OBA, some of the OBA supporters, as the Three Bad News Bears. That's how they referred to Reverend Tweed, Brother Jason, and myself. Because remember now, we were just going up and down Bermuda, having town hall meetings, and just explain exactly what these people were trying to do.
Yeah.
And we was educating people. And that's why, right at the very top, you see, it was the People's Campaign for Equality, Jobs, and Justice.
Indeed.
Yeah. And certainly, we had this document that we put together. We had the, of course, when you go to the I think it's page number...
It's quite comprehensive.
Go to page number 10. You can read some of the stuff that's in there that you do.
Okay, so page number 10.
Top of the page.
So equality. Quality health care must be accessible and affordable to all. Yes, it's a manifesto recommendations for the government. I mean, that seems pretty clear to me. And then it gives a breakdown of what that is, and that all Bermudians must have equal treatment under the law. Criminal justice system and the civil legal system must be accessible irrespective of financial well-being and must be administered at all levels in a manner that truly demonstrates that justice is blind. And then justice. The government must implement a program specifically designed to provide true economic opportunities for persons who historically have been prevented access. And then the government must establish regulatory constraints over the market to ensure that the business community share the sacrifices and participate in practices that serve the common good, recognizing that the economy must serve the world and not the other way around. And then equal rights must be the same for all citizens of Bermuda, such age cannot be a barrier for access to services, capital, and employment. And finally, the government does not own public property, but holds it in trust on behalf of the people, and therefore should exercise proper stewardship that protects the assets of the people against privatization.
Now, let's look at that last point. So what do you think happened to the airport deal in 2016?
Oh, my goodness.
So remember now, you are now giving away an airport for 35 years without the permission of the people of the country.
Wow.
And you're thinking that you can do that. You simply cannot.
No.
You can't.
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
But the People's Campaign, I can tell you, it was a pleasure working with President here from the BPSU and Reverend Tweed and doing the things we've done on behalf of the People's Campaign. I think that, we were able to, I'm not saying it was all of what we did. It was a lot of what we did to stop the AB from doing the things that they need to do, particularly when we look at pathways to status.
Wow. Indeed. Now, time won't give us that experience to talk about pathway to status, but I just want to kind of wind down because this is a very busy, oh my goodness, time-consuming, just establishing commitment that you have in this position that you have. How do you unwind?
Interesting.
How do you unwind?
Well, I tell you how I unwind it, and I mentioned Mr. Barkley a little while ago. He was the president of the docks division, and he retired, not retired, but he started his own trucking business. And one thing he said to me, and I've held it true to form to date: make sure you take vacation time every year. Got it. So I got a chance to leave. I go on vacation for 2 or 3 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks, and I just want my time to unwind. Whatever I do is my business. I don't tell people what to do with that time, so that's what I do to get myself, re-energized. Yeah, to get yourself in balance. Because people don't understand, if you work 12 months a year without any vacation time, your body gets no rest, your mind gets no rest. Indeed. And when you got overloaded, remember now, there are so many things. You're the leader. As I try to tell people, when I was the president of the docks division, I was president of one division. Once I became president of BAU, I'm now president of all divisions. Right. So whatever decisions I can make when I was president of the docks, I was only making for one division. Now I'm going to make the decision for everybody. And it's got to be fair. Yes, right. So people are saying, "Oh, you changed." No. My role changed. Yeah. And once my role changed, I'm going to recognize my responsibilities. Yeah. My responsibility is not just to one division, it's to the entire membership. Absolutely. And also, I try to tell our members, public support is important. You might not think so, but I do as your leader. Why? If you got public support, chances are, when you're fighting the battle, you win. If you got public support, I'm not saying you can't win. I'm just telling you it might be a little more difficult to win the battle. Indeed. But if you got public support, they say, what's the problem? Yeah. They can say to that employer, they can say to the government, what's the problem? The BIU is trying to be fair and reasonable. What's going on there? Yeah. Now, you have a family. Yes, I do. You have a wife? What's your wife's name? My wife's name is Tracy. Tracy Delight Sharif. Yeah. That's her name. Yeah. And you have children? I do. I have 5 kids, three boys and 2 girls. Were you able to balance fatherhood and husbandhood and leadership? Well, I think I gave you the example of my father earlier, where I thought he was a 5. If I have to grade myself, maybe I give myself a 7. Okay. Maybe, and from time to time, I could be a little higher than that, and my kids might say from time to time I might be a little bit lower. They'll have their opinion, but I know I'm not a 2. I knew that much for a fact. Yeah, and that's important to know that. Yeah. And you have grandchildren? I have 7 grandchildren. 7 grandchildren. 7. Granddad. Wow. 7 grandchildren. Wow. Yeah. Indeed. No, I think I can get the order of them right. The orders will be Sajay, Next to Sajay is Janika. Only one boy out of the 7 there.
Ooh.
Janika is the second oldest, and he's a boy. And then, of course, we got Janaya. We got Alea. And then the youngest 3 are Cameron. And those 4 are all for one son.
Okay.
The next 2 are for my second oldest son, which would be Chris Jr. So we're Cameron, and we got August.
Aww.
And the baby is his name Asa.
Well done, Granddad.
She'll be 11 months old on the 16th of April. She goes a year old on May 16th.
Congratulations.
So April 16th, she goes 11 months.
Yeah.
And she's a piece of work.
It sounds like it.
Even August. August is, somebody thinks my son was doing something, and something must have went up like a large amount of money. This little girl is 3 years old, okay? She's 3 years old. She told him, Daddy, that's inflation. How does a 3-year-old know to use the word inflation and use it in the right context?
In the right context.
When he told me that, I could not believe it.
He
said, Dad, here's what she said to me. I said, where did she get the word from? And to use it in the proper context, that's what's really...
Yeah.
Two things bring me away. First of all, she knew the word inflation at 3 years old, and she used it in the right context.
Inflation. Now, who
based on what he bought. I could not believe it. But she's a bright young. She's a bright child.
So you're going to have to nurture that one. How much longer do you plan to stay in leadership? My last question.
I have 2 years left. March 2028 is my time to leave. Yeah.
Do you think you'll step away?
I will.
Yeah?
Yeah. No, people don't understand. When you're a leader, and this is my words, not anybody's words, when you're a true leader, you know when time is time.
True.
I know that. I think that it's time for the membership to identify another leader. Do I think I still have something to offer the BIU? Yeah, I do. I think my mind is still very sharp. I still know quite a bit of stuff, but that don't make it right that you stay on. And I use the example of, I went to this, I went down to Australia to International World Congress, ITUC World Congress, in 2023, I think it was. 23? We're in 24.
Okay.
And what was interesting is that I watched this young lady go on stage, and what she said was so profound. It was so profound. She says, the young people are not coming under your terms. They'll find their own way first before they're dictated to by other people.
Interesting. Yeah. She's got a point.
And we have to find that balance.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tie that right to the Labor News conference that we went to 2 years ago in Chicago. And here's what another person said. We're gonna stop gatekeeping. That's what does it.
Okay.
They call senior people in trade unions gatekeeping. Like they're gatekeeping, so you don't want to give it your position. You don't want you want to keep it for life.
Yeah.
I don't want to be classified as that. I think I've given the membership great leadership. In the end, my record will speak for itself. I would end up being here in 2028. Already served 22 years. I'm going to serve 22 years.
Got it.
So I think it's a nice, pardon way
Indeed.
in 22 years for me to leave the organization. And I'll be in my 76th year.
Yeah.
It's time to go.
Yeah.
It's time to try to enjoy life a bit, what our life is.
See what else is out there for Mr. Chris Ferber to do.
See what else is out there. See what else is out there.
Well, thank you, Mr. Ferber. I just want to say your journey is one that really captures the spirit of Bermuda. From a young boy growing up on Parker's Hill, playing in the streets, to becoming a respected voice for workers across the island. It's a story of persistence, purpose, and pride. You've spoken about family, sacrifice, standing firm in your beliefs, and even when it wasn't easy, you led during difficult times, making tough decisions, and always carrying that motto that never forget where you came from. And I think what stands out most is your commitment to people, the idea that every worker deserves dignity, respect, and a fair voice. That's something that goes beyond unions. It speaks to the kind of society we all want to live in.
Thank you.
So thank you. And beautiful people, I'm going to open up the phone lines right now. I saw it ringing. It's your time. If you want to call and give any questions and thoughts to Mr. Furbert, you know the number, 297-1027, 1-888-257-9086. Mr. Furbert's been talking a while. He's drinking water. So now is your time to call up, 297-1027 or 1-888-257-1086. 9086. Do you read any books, Mr. Frederick?
Well, I've got I don't read as often as I should. Of course, Barack Obama has a book out. Dr. Brown has his book. Of course,
you have a book out. The Union has a book out now.
The BIU's history book. BIU history book. Absolutely, yes.
Wow,
yeah.
wow.
So it's just so interesting how we take so much for granted.
Indeed, indeed.
How we take so much for granted.
Magic 102.7 FM. You're on the air.
Good evening. How are you this
I'm
evening?
good. Thank you.
Good. Just one little comment. I want to ask Mr. Furbert. Hello, Chris.
Hello. How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. I just would like to know that, do you remember a chap that used to play goalkeeper for the Wellington Rovers?
Oh, not good, Brayman.
Eh?
Not Mr. Brayman.
No. Not
Wellington Rovers? No.
Wellington Rovers, yeah.
Okay, what's his name?
Mike Parentchief.
Mike Parentchief.
Maybe it was because I was playing for them 61 to about 64, something like that.
Yeah, remember now, I'm born 52. So
I know.
I was only 9 years old in 1961.
I know. I'm 83 now.
So there you go. 11 years difference between you, 10 years in between you and I. I'm 73.
The reason why I called because
sure.
I bumped into a rifleman. Used to play for Social Club.
Rifleman Roach.
Roach, yeah.
Roach, I know you're talking about.
I bumped into him in Hamilton one day, and after all of these years, I said to him, "Hey, John, I was getting a shower the other day, and I looked in the mirror and I saw these cross patches on my chest, right?" He said, "That was that shot that I put in your chest up at Casuarina Park." and you know what?
Yeah, laces on the footballs back then.
Oh yeah, and there was a couple of other players that put marks on my chest too. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Rudy Smith.
Rudy Smith from Somerset.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Bayfield Clark,
right?
Bummy
Simons.
And Clyde McDonald.
Okay.
Clive Donald.
Okay.
Greece, yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, interesting conversation, Chris. I always like to listen when you're on. Many kudos to you. You remind me of this Randy Stone. You're a fighter.
Thank you. Appreciate it, sir. Thank you very much.
Enjoy the rest of the week, okay?
Thank you very much. You too. Thank you for the call.
Okay. Take care.
Thank you, caller. Yes, indeed. Yeah. It's funny how you connect people and places and experiences. That's the joy of living in Bermuda. Ever thought of living anywhere else? No. Bermuda.
I don't mind going away for a while, but I always want to come back.
Yeah.
I mean, when I look at somebody like the snow, first of all, I've experienced snow a few times, but it just gets too cold. And they're going to dig yourself out of water.
No. Bermuda is definitely another world. Okay, so call us. I'm going to give you one more second. If not, we're going to wind it up because we have had a grand time this evening. Yes, indeed. So, thank you, beautiful people, for listening, and those who have called in to It's Been Said. Everyone is born into their once-upon-a-lifetime story, and we live to experience our happily ever after. What about you? Mr. Chris Furbert has. If you have a story that you believe is uplifting, please send me an email at coolcat00@hotmail.com, and we will get in contact with you. Thank you once again for listening in, and you can follow us on Facebook on It's Been Said with Cat Wade or Instagram. It's Been Said with Cat Wade. Next week is going to be just as special. We meet together every week to share everyday stories of ordinary people who have overcome challenges, finding ways to cope and to live extraordinary lives. But before I say the last line, I'm going to let this caller come in. Magic 102.7 FM. Go ahead.
Hey, Chris. Big Mike.
How you doing, bro?
Okay. I remember those days at Old Road School playing out on the field, the discipline that
Yes.
I mean, I knew then that you had leadership qualities there because you couldn't just walk on the field and you couldn't just walk off.
No.
Matter of fact, I had to wait for my mom to come down on the scooter to get me to get off the field. Oh yeah, your qualities have always been there.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate that, man.
But congratulations in your endeavor.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
All right, take care. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, caller. Thank you.
Forgot about that. Audrey Skill.
Oh, yeah.
Work Bombardiers. Yeah.
That's why we tell the story.
Yes. Yeah.
That's why we tell the story.
Yes. Yeah.
You know? So, beautiful people, we hear everyday stories of people who have overcome challenges, finding ways to cope and to live extraordinary lives. Because as we say, a negative mind will never give you a positive life. So until next time, stay positive.
Bermuda Live on YouTube. Subscribe.